What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com, thelines.com. I'm going to talk to you about this Thursday night football game between the Steelers and the Browns. Guys, while we are here, please hit subscribe on this page. Please like the video, and please let us know in the comments how you plan on playing the game tonight. Certainly interested in that as well. And hit that little bell while you're at it so you can get notifications every time a video goes live on the channel here. Of course, this is a decent little Thursday night game actually for us. If we want to take a look at the right up here, you go to lines.com, just click on this NFL tab and you can click on TNF. You can also get a full written breakdown over at PlayPicks as well to take a look at how Juan thinks this game is going to play out. Let's take a look at the lines here over on DraftKings, sitting at 2.5 in favor of the Browns. You can see it juice, so this thing likely going to hit 3 and 2.5. Might toggle back and forth over the course of the afternoon. Leading into kickoff, total of 41.5 over at FanDuel. It has moved to 3 here, but you can see if you want the 3 on the Steelers, you're actually having to pay the juice there, 41.5 as well. As far as the weather in this thing, it's going to be right at freezing, like right at 32 degrees, but no precipitation to worry about. 10, 12 mile an hour winds, which actually is going to get this wind chill down into kind of that high teens area. But other than that, it's just cold. Steelers are used to it as well, so no big deal there. I'll scroll up if you want to read a little bit as we go along. The Steelers, 5-4 overall, 6-3 against the spread. Started 1-4, but have rattled off 4 straight wins. Mike Tomlin doing a real good job there with this team. The Browns, 3-6 overall, 2-6-1 against the spread. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games, though they did get a win last week over the Bills, 3-point win there. As far as injuries go here, guys, corner Joe Hayden is questionable for the Steelers, as is their linebacker Anthony Chicolo. On the Brown side, Olivier Vernon is out, and tackle Kendall Lamb is questionable for the Browns in this thing. Let's talk about the offenses in this game if you want to take a look at how these things match up. The Steelers offense averaging just 21.4 points per game and 296 yards a game, so under 300 yards total a game. Only 5 yards per play. They are passing the ball 59.3% of the time. They do have the 4th graded pass blocking unit according to Pro Football Focus, but the number 30 graded pass offense by Pro Football Focus. They can pass block, they just can't pass the ball. 22nd ranked pass offense DVOA, only 212.9 yards per game passing. Number 16th rated run blocking unit according to Pro Football Focus, but the number 29 ranked rush offense DVOA, they're just getting 83.2 rush yards per game on the ground. Of course, James Conner is going to be back for the Steelers in this game, which is big because they got absolutely nothing. Jalen Samuels, a very good pass catching running back, but not a good actual running back. The number 28th ranked overall offense DVOA, and converting 36.1% of their third downs. On the Brown side of things here, and I'll continue to scroll if you guys want to take a look. Averaging 19 points per game, 370.7 yards per game, 5.7 yards per play. They are passing on 61.2% of their plays. And of course, that's skewed even more because they've just been down in so many games here. 20th ranked pass blocking grade, according to Pro Football Focus, 16th graded pass offense by Pro Football Focus, 24th ranked pass offense DVOA, and 246.8 yards per game through the air is what they've done so far through 10 weeks. 24th graded run blocking unit, according to Pro Football Focus, number 15th ranked rush unit, DVOA, 123.9 rush yards per game, converting just 31.1% of their third down. So not even getting 1 in every 3 third down opportunities. As far as the pace of this game, Steelers 28.9 seconds per play. That's 24th in the league. Browns 28.2. That is 18th. In situation neutral, they're looking at 20 and 18th in the league. So both bottom half of the league as far as pace goes, if you're wondering how this thing could play out there. Steelers defense, one of the very best in the league, averaging 20.1 points per game, giving up 356 yards per game, giving up 251 yards per game passing, 105 yards per game rushing. Number 1 rated defense according to Pro Football Focus. Number 1 rated pass rush according to Pro Football Focus, and the number 5 rated coverage grade according to Pro Football Focus. Number 3 overall defense, DVOA. Number 4 ranked pass defense, DVOA. And number 11th ranked rush defense, DVOA. So you can see what this Steelers defense has been able to do here, because you saw the offensive numbers, not very good, but the defense has been getting this done for this team here. Opponents converting 38% of third downs. The Browns defense, on the other hand, not quite as good, giving up 24.6 points per game, 374.7 yards per game, 27th rated according to Pro Football Focus overall. They do have a good pass rush, according to Pro Football Focus, number 7th overall, but 24th in coverage. So they're getting the quarterback, but then the guys just can't cover very well. Number 23rd ranked defense DVOA overall, 19th pass defense DVOA, and 22nd rush defense DVOA as a whole, giving up 5.7 yards per play and allowing 33.9% of third downs to be converted. So let's take a look over here how we feel about this game. Let's go ahead and make a case for the under. And if we want to make a case for the under here, 41.5, it's like that on both sides here. A case for the under could just be, look, 2 pretty mediocre offenses here and 1 very elite defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you think that these mediocre offenses are just not going to be able to get the job done, and that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to be able to do what it has been doing all year long, certainly could make a case for the under here, even at a low 41.5 total. Also, this defensive line, the Steelers defensive line, 2nd in adjusted sack rate, while the Browns offensive line is 21st in adjusted sack rate. So you're looking at a Browns team that's going to get into Baker Mayfield's territory. They're going to disrupt him. Hasn't been the greatest under pressure for sure. We've seen that they have not schemed very well for him under pressure either. So could be a long day for Baker Mayfield. Could keep this game under. Case for the over could just be, look, maybe the Steelers offense does enough here to get this game over, because look, we're talking about a pretty bad Browns defense so far this year. Steelers offense has been terrible, but maybe they can do enough on their own. I don't think they're going to shut out this Browns team by any stretch of the imagination. So can the Steelers offense actually contribute enough to help get this game over here? That's the question we have to answer if we want to make the case for the over in this thing, because we know that the Steelers defense is not going to allow a lot of points to this Browns team. At least that's what we assume. So with that being the case, can the Steelers actually do their part here? I think maybe there's a decent chance that they'll move the ball. I just don't know if it will be enough. Key number 41 there, 41.5 as we sit right now. Let's look at some player props here. There was just a couple that did kind of pique my interest. Haven't made my card just yet, but certainly something maybe you want to dig into, I will dig into as well. The rushing total here for Nick Chubb, and we can actually take a look at the player props on both sites just in case there is a discrepancy. So you can see actually 2 yards higher over at DraftKings. So I'm actually looking at the under. I'm going to dig in a little bit more, but look, Kareem Hunt played on 38 snaps in his first game back. So now he's going to be with this offense a little bit longer. So it makes me wonder if he could actually get some more touches here, which would bleed more yardage off of Nick Chubb here. And again, we talked about how good this Steelers defense is overall anyway. So kind of looking at the Chubb under here on rushing yards, going to dig in a little bit deeper there. I think you should as well, especially if you think Kareem Hunt is going to get more touches in this game. The other thing I am looking at as well is just the reception and receiving total numbers here. Total receptions, look, Jarvis Landry at 4.5. I mean, I understand that you got to pay the juice to get the over, but we're talking about a guy that's just been averaging just under 8 targets a game here over the course of the season, even more here lately. And then you just look at kind of how you would assume that the Browns want to do this. If the pass rush is so incredibly good for the Steelers team, which it is, that you would want to get the ball out of your hands quicker. Jarvis Landry plays in the slot. Jarvis Landry goes and he just finds little holes in the defense, and he just kind of, he goes and camps out. And then that's the way that Baker Mayfield kind of like tries to combat some of these, these pass rushes there's going to be going on with the Steelers here. So as I figure the game plan here and how I think it would play out, I think Jarvis Landry gets a bunch of catches in this game. So I would take the over on 4.5 as well. Yardage, 57.5. A lot of his catches are really short, so I don't know if I'm necessarily over on the yardage, but I don't hate it. but definitely don't like it as much as I just do just the over on catches, the total catches number here. All right, so let's talk about how we're looking to play this game on a side and total here. Guys, if you've been watching these videos long enough, you know how I do. I play these basic strategy teasers, and I have for the last several years. I'm not going to stop now. Low total game with a 2.5 here. You tease the 2.5 up to 8.5, and you're getting, an 8.5 point dog in a very low total game, which the very nature of the low total says that this game doesn't look like it has a chance to get out of hand. Further, for me, I don't think this Browns offense has what it takes to get this game out of hand against the Steelers defense, sans some sort of turnover situation on the Steelers offense here. So if Mason Rudolph gets careless with the ball, then yeah, this thing could get out of hand here, and maybe the Browns could cover the 8.5. But I don't see that necessarily being the case here, so I'm going to play the basic strategy teaser in this game and tease this thing up to 8.5. Now, I will have to find a game to connect this to later on in the week here, so that is something I'll be looking to do. I know there's a lot of people who like to play these single game teasers as well in these situations where they would take the Steelers up to 8.5 and then put this up to 47.5 and play the under here. Don't hate that. I typically don't do that a ton, but maybe if you wanted to get some action and have a result at the end of the evening, you could definitely do that as well. Wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers won this game outright here. This Browns team just has not been able to get it together. Of course, a big-time coaching mismatch as well. Mike Tomlin been doing a great job for the Steelers. Freddie Kitchens been doing one of the absolute worst in all the NFL for this Browns team. But lean here towards the under just regardless. I think that Steelers play good enough defense here, and the offense is just bad enough that they're not going to be able to score enough to get this thing over the total here. Keep an eye on this number here, though. 41.5 is certainly more favorable to us. If this thing gets to 41 or even under 41, it starts to really get away from us, though. Like I said, going to be playing Steelers up to plus 8.5 here. Maybe a sprinkle on the money line as well for the Steelers team that I think has a pretty good chance to win this game outright. That said, if I was going to play the money line, I think we would be playing over here 128. Oh, no, 130. Okay. We would still play it over here at DraftKings as well. So 130 on the money line for the Steelers. Guys, as always, please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video, and please let us know in the comments how you're playing this game. Everything is free over at thelines.com and playpicks.com. So head over there if you want to get written breakdowns on these games as well. DK picks, FD picks for the very best sportsbook offers if you are located in Jersey or Pennsylvania over there. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you guys back here for Sunday Night Football.